I was sitting, okay, so welcome back to the Faithful Wisdom Warrior Show. It's your girl Wisdom, and get my disclaimer real quick. You know, I am a fangirl of biblical stories. I'm a fangirl of the Bible itself, and I study it like Indiana Jones, you know? So just like when you go to Comic Con and you put on an outfit to be Catwoman, I put on an outfit to be wisdom from the Bible, okay? So you see I got my thankful, grateful, and blessed. I think it's a blessed. I don't know what the bottom say. I think it's a blessed shirt on. So, yeah, I genuinely believe that I am wisdom from the Bible when I'm wearing this hat, okay? So only believe me as far as you're willing to research what I've said. If you're not willing to research it, then allow this just to be entertainment. This is just entertainment, you know. This is something a story to keep track of. Maybe you like the story. Maybe you don't believe everything that's gonna come true within the story, you know. Also, at this channel, we are not churchy. We're truthful. 100%. We follow the words. Like, we love the words of the Bible, love the truth of God, you know, the truth of existence. So that's another thing here. So some things you may see here, you may say, you know, my church would be so mad over that. Well, I'm going to tell you, this ain't the channel for you, because this ain't about church. This is about God. You know what I mean? This is about listening. Those that hear, he said, my sheep hear my voice, and to others they shall not follow. This is that ministry, you know, to where it's like, nope, we hear God, period. Okay, so in my studies, I'm working on doing this PowerPoint. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. You know, I'm not, like, though I am a big visionary when it comes to like computers and stuff, I just don't have the patience. I know how to do it. I just don't have the patience anymore, you know. But God has made me make a PowerPoint to show all of these things as being true, scientifically, and whatnot. So I'm working on that. I'm also painting my wall, you know. I'm working on that. All right, so that's the disclaimer part done. And I do got to figure out how to, or just sit down with the patients to share my screen on and show y'all the PowerPoints that God has called. So I'm going to do that directly after this video. I should probably done that video first, but I didn't want to, you know. It's a rough video. That other video, like, it scientifically proves, hey, love, it scientifically proves that what God said is true, that a part of the earth is going to implode and the seas are going to be pushed up, and like, it shows everything that they've done a correlation to as if it's something else. It's as if God kind of said, if the goal is to keep you away from a particular like from knowing about a particular cyclical geophysical event, then shouldn't all these things that they're doing politically, alien, all this other stuff, shouldn't it have some type of evidence in what God has shown? And it is completely, it's obvious. It's obvious. We're about to see some 2012, like, you know, the movie 2012, and I know that's so hard to hear, but we are about to see crust displacement according to the biblical story, and the science of the world around us right now, you know. So I'm trying to stay as vague as possible because you know they've done some things with YouTube. I tried to be monetized. It's too much hassle. I never got into that. So I'm not worried about affecting my monetization. But I did get an email about. I hope you saw it before they took it down because it's gone forever. Which it wasn't long ago. What was the name of that video? Choose this day whom you shall serve. And I appealed it and told him, I'm like, I'm a non-violent, like I'm the kind of person that says sit still in your house. Like that was a non-violent message. That was just a factual choose this day whom you shall serve. But they rejected it and that video is gone. So I want to really stick to, you know, referencing I see why now God said reference the Bible as much as possible, because all you're doing then is telling a story for what God said. It's not me you taking down, it's the book you gave us. You know, that's another thing that really trips me out about this particular way the government and the world is moving right now. This ain't something I gave myself. This is mass. Y'all all gave us this Bible. Y'all all gave us Christmas. Y'all did that. You get what I'm saying? So to take away your own belief in it is almost perjury. You know what I mean? It's almost like, why you give it to me in the first place then? Whew. So this video, I hope it might be short, I don't know. But during the time of God really taking me through doing the other video, like the PowerPoint, he showed me that even the best preppers aren't prepared. Even the best preppers are barely prepared. So he basically gave me a list of things that we aren't thinking about because they are not incorporating God into the prepping process. Okay, so let's get to it. As you all know, I sold everything in Cleveland, Ohio, and bought a farm in Kentucky, right? And I sunk every dime I had in it, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like there was money left over. But, well, there was some, but I was thinking like the average prepper, right? I was thinking, how will I maintain over a sustainable period of time if nothing changes? So I put my money into camping supplies, and that was not smart. Let's put that there. Let's go ahead and be honest in front of everyone. That was not smart. I should have put my extra money in day-to-day needs that we don't think about, you know, like a good riding lawnmower, landscape, because the land gonna keep growing, the ground's gonna keep growing up, you know. So rakes, shovels, things like that is where I should have put the extra money. Excavator, rent an excavator for the day. You know, I didn't think about that because I was thinking like the average prepper: food, water, a way to create warmth. So after being here now since March 27th, and as I was thinking about, oh, okay, yeah. As I was thinking about how to survive, like how ready am I for the next events ahead, the next phase of what they're doing, you know? And my water heater went out and my bathroom flooded, right? And at that point, I was without water. Like, we had to turn water off at the spigot for like 3 days, right? It was like 3 days. Wow. because that happened on Thursday and Dawn got here on Saturday. So but the water wasn't back on, I think, until no, it was Saturday. Wow, praise God. So God gave me a test run of 3 days with no water, right? And I failed miserably. Like, I saw at that point what was the most important things in the event of living life daily with no water. You get what I'm saying? And from this process, it made me think. Oh, let me back up. God had, like, you could ask Job. God had me like saying it over and over again. Like, I filled up the jacuzzi with water. Like, leading up to this, it was like I was having premonition after premonition. Hey, love. Hey. I was having premonition after premonition about, needing more water, But then this thing happened where it was like, boom, whoa. Now I see why God was showing me that. Okay. Whew. So it was to change my thought process, to really see what matters in that time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a faster. So at that moment, it wasn't about if I could make a meal. You get what I'm saying? No, it wasn't about that. It was because I'm a faster. Eating every day ain't something I really need to do anyways. But cleaning every day is the ability to not let things get grosser and grosser around you is of detrimental, like, oh my God, it's so important. You get what I'm saying? So one of the things, so start number one, right? It's a lot of them, so I probably shouldn't do, well, let's try it. Number one is ways to store water now before it happens. Like, your faucet is running, right? So getting you a small pool and filling it up and then putting a cover over top of it and treating it as if it will possibly be either drinking water or toilet flushing water or cleaning water. You get what I'm saying? Like, but having it ready in a case that the water goes down is the ability to clean. So that means some, like, I have this really big, like a stewing pot. It's, that kind with the handles on it, but it's about like that wide. But it's a pot that you can put on the stove. It's metal. I would say get something like that, because I use that for all different. I never cook in it because it's so big, but I use it for all different. I warm up water in it. If when the water went out, that was my tub. You get what I'm saying? So, water storage now that doesn't really involve going to the store and buying water. It's about collecting the water you have now. Because I'm going to tell you, when the water do go out, all the wasted time that you spent not collecting water is going to mentally bother you. Let's be real. That's what happened. It was literally like, why wasn't I collecting water? I mean, it used to work at the sink. Now it doesn't work at the sink. Oh my God, I should have put it in Rubbermaid tubs and stacked it outside or something. I don't know, but I know I wasted my life away not collecting water. You know what I mean? That's the way you feel. So even garbage drums, yes. Yes, I have that on my list. That's what started the list, was like, what do I need to really survive? And it was realizing it doesn't matter what you collect water in, but as long as you have it. Now, the next thing that you need is bleach and water cleaning tablets. Or my cousin had this. Now, this thing was expensive. It was $99. I'm gonna call them and tell them they should like send me one, because because I'm talking about it right now. I can't think of the name. Grail. It was a Grail. I think it was Grail or something like that. But she went and put water in my pond that is disgusting, right? Pushed it through and it was clear, drinkable water. You know what I mean? So something like that would be important to have as well, you know, to because, like, you know, don't get me wrong, getting gallons of water, drinkable water, is important. Go to the store, go to the dollar store. Remember what I said? Go to the store and get a gallon of water every time you go to the store. That's cool. But also get disposed, you know, like create ways to capture disposable water to mop the floor, water to wash your butt, water to wash the dishes. Think about the dishes filling up all around you with food in it. It really does mess with you because you feel so pigeonholed to where you gotta like I had to conserve the drinkable water to where the flushable, like it was hurting. It wasn't right. You give it wow. That was my dream a long time ago. Remember that, y'all? And I had to pour the water out. Oh, this is it. Okay, so bleach, soap, dishwashing liquid, the big jugs of soap, and I'm talking about to clean stuff with. That's important. That's stuff that we're on a daily basis. Don't get me wrong. You cannot eat on a day. Like, so this is really a prepping list for somebody who's just waking up to the truth, right? And you need to get started right now. I would say these things that I'm saying are on a daily basis are more important than canned goods. Don't get me wrong, you should get canned goods, but let's go there too. Get canned goods you'd actually eat. Like me, I decided to start getting potatoes, mushrooms, stuff that, like, y'all know, some potatoes, mushrooms, and onions. Ooh, that sound good. I'm not gonna go get canned vegetables that I'm not gonna be so happy eating. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing. So when you get, you know, your canned foods and non-perishable items, really think about your daily diet and what, when the hits the fan, what would make you go, I'm eating good though? You get what I'm saying? Get those things. Like, I thought about, like, at first I was getting stuff like Campbell's chicken, chunky soup. Forget that. I decided to change my thought process and get some potatoes, mushrooms, onions, things that I would be happy sitting there eating, even if it wasn't corned beef hash. I love corned beef hash. Even if it wasn't the apocalypse, you get what I'm saying? I'd eat it, right? Okay, so soap. Now, here's the part that's God inspired. Now, those were my bad. Like, don't get me wrong, all that was God inspired. But God said wound care. Now, let's say there is crust displacement. Let's say you got to fight your way out of like on 2012, you got to fight your way out of a bad situation. Let's say then for some reason you get hurt, you know, like a branch goes into your side or something, right? At that moment, are you going to say, thank God I have canned food? No, you're going to say, thank God I heard him say wound care. Because the number one way people in a tragedy die is not properly caring for their wounds, right? So iodine, alcohol, bandage wrap, the solution to wash the wound out. So that way, you know, it was good stuff you use. You know, they got these cans where you could wash the wound out. You know, oh, this, like them, I need to call them and tell them that. I know some people, you know, there's all types of conspiracies about them, but I think that's probably, I don't know. I think it's because it works. Okay. So they're going to have to sponsor me one day. I have a broken in half knee. Real talk, this is important. Like, my knee was broken in half, right? And they, you know, they give you all the big medicines, naproxen, codeine, all these other things. All they did was make me feel loopy. The only thing that took away the pain to where I was like, forget that prescription. I'm going to use this bare back and body, back and body. If you got something like a old broken something injury and you know you got to be ready for the struggle, you get what I'm saying? Having this on hand will help. Also, knee braces, like make sure you get you a knee, a new knee brace. When you go to the doctor, tell them you want a new knee brace. They gave you the first one and you want a good new knee brace. You get what I'm saying, on your medical coverage. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling, but I hope this is all good stuff. Yes, gauze. Um, stuff, oral gel, the task at hand. The pain, and it don't just have to be the physical pain, but the pain of what's happening. That's where that soap comes in and that bleach comes in. That is super, super, super important. I never noticed how important soap, bleach, ways to clean around you is, okay? Or actually are. Of course, tissue and sanitary napkins, right? Now, this is the God part. I know you may be used to using tampons, okay? And go ahead, get those too. But God has been saying that when this thing happens, all the women are going to bleed at once. Like right now, the womb is being shut up. So many people are not having a menstrual, like young people. You get what I'm saying? But when he comes, he said the blood, like the blood's gonna cleanse these spirits off of you, or something. I don't know how to explain it. So he said protect the blood. Like they're gonna be able to smell the blood. You get what I'm saying? So pads that have that interlock system where what y'all ladies know the kind I'm talking about, where the blood get on it and then all of a sudden it look dry. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Do that. I know that's gross, but it's important. We have to talk about it because there's a spiritual element here as it relates to period blood. So you must protect the blood, right? It's the truth. Because that's God gives me this notion that they can smell the blood, right? And it's true. Okay. Battery storage banks. Like you may get that's something I did. I got the solar panels, right? But if you don't have a bank to store it in and a way to get it back out of that bank, you did nothing. You get what I'm saying? All you have is you did nothing, because if it's gonna be 3 days of darkness, which I believe is gonna be like more like 3 months of darkness, but I know that darkness event really is coming, okay? Maybe even 3 years of darkness, okay? But I know that it's coming, right? Ooh, I'm sorry, I just felt really, really nauseated. If you don't have a way to store that, it's pointless. You get what I'm saying? If you're once again, that's another one that after everything hits the fan, you're going to feel like you waste, even though you did the best preps you knew how to do, you're going to feel like you wasted your life away, not gathering batteries and storage banks and, batteries to store energy with. You know what I mean? So that is important. Okay, blankets, comforters. Okay, this is from what I'm going to show you in the next video. This is the real way the seasons were created. They lied about the moon. Real talk. I'm going to prove it. Real talk. So that we are about to go into an ice age, and that going into that ice age is what creates the wobble. Like everything's going to be pulled back a certain kind of way. So, blankets, like even if I'm talking about, like, let's say you got to get wood. Don't get me wrong. Get your wood, get all that kind of stuff. But let's say let's say you're a single woman. There's no way you could gather enough wood. Let's say there's absolutely no way, right? for 3 months of winter or horrible winter. You get what I'm saying? Um, Having tons of blankets that you can create a igloo out of, you know what I mean, that you could just throw on top of you and the kids, and that is going to be a lifesaver the night of. You get what I'm, that's going to be huge as this progresses, right? So wood is important as well, right? So right now, gather all the wood you can. But also, if you could go on eBay and buy a box of I feel so dizzy. A box of hand warmers, you know, the sports mom hand warmers, that you break them and they warm up. Get those too. You know what I mean? Like, get them out, because now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, food and stuff is important, especially if you got kids. That's really the only time food is important, when you got kids, right? But for the most part, keeping those kids warm at night is gonna be super important, right? So get those a box of hand warmers, okay? A gas mask. I know that one is a God inspired one, okay? A gas mask. Every person in your house should have one gas mask. Let me tell you why. Not not for what you think, like nuclear fallout. No, 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 because we're going with the God story, right? Methane is coming up from the permafrost, okay? Methane and thorium, thorium, which they make fluoride out of, right? That is seeping up from the permafrost. You have to protect against these gases that are about to come up from the crust of the earth. They can say whatever they want to say about their nuclear stuff. Yes, you need it for that too. But I'm letting you know, for God said, for crust displacement, like where you're at might have a high crust displacement, but where they're projecting for nukes to go, you're nowhere near there. So I'm telling you why you need a gas mask too, even though you are way away from that, type of nuke scenario. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be gas that's coming up from the earth, and every person in your house needs a gas mask. Fire extinguisher. Fire, God, this is another God one. God said fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone. Y'all remember when I had that dream, everything was on fire, and I was begging my cousin to get up and help, but she wouldn't move. Like, I know now it wasn't my cousin, it was somebody else. I know who it is, but and to the point where I had to pour my water. I had to choose with my water. Do I keep hoarding this to one day drink because the world is on fire? Or do I pour this water that I have onto the fire? Well, that's the moment God told me, okay, you got to do that's when he convinced me, you got to do a video, because I do remember that dream. And if I had fire extinguishers, right, this wouldn't have been, that wouldn't have been a part in that dream. I would have been worried. I would have used my fire extinguishers. So fire extinguishers, carbon monoxide detectors. Remember, there are gases coming up. Carbon monoxide detectors. It's cold and you might have to burn in a room somewhere and gotta figure. So you need carbon, even if you got a wood burning stove, you need a carbon monoxide detector. So this is about the things we didn't think about on a day-to-day survival after the cataclysm of crust displacement. Fire retardant blanket is for, if you could afford it. It's not that expensive, but I'm saying it as to say, like, you want to be one of the those 5 versions of the 10 versions that was so ready to where other onlookers was like, wow. So that's what the fire retardant blankets would do. You get what I'm saying? So it would be that upscale mama thought of everything type of moment. You get what I mean? So fire retardant blankets I saw are so important. I saw a movie where these people had to lay up like there was a forest fire, and the ambulance people couldn't get them out, and they almost died too. But at the end, the very end, where there was no hope, like all they did was everybody laid on the ground together and put retarded stuff over them in prayer that they would be okay. So I'm gonna say go get that kind of stuff if you can, you know. But my plan is, I don't know if I can. My plan is to get a lot of them and to sew them together and throw them over the car. You know what I mean? Or throw them over the, I don't know, something that my water, throw it over my water. You get what I'm saying? Something that I really need. But I want a tarp, a fire resistant tarp, right? Because fire and brimstone, that's just important to recognize. Aluminum foil. Now, this is for the person that can't afford like this EM. Y'all know I gotta go pee. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. God showed me it is imminent. It is imminent because they have to justify, that is going to be coming from them, but they have to justify because they've been hiding this crust displacement event. You know what I mean? So that's what's coming. They're not really even talking about a new coming, except for 1 or 2 places. But what they're really talking about is that happening. Okay. Whew. So I've done a little bit of research, and I can't really afford a EM shield. I can't. I wish I could, for how much of them I would need. You know what I mean? So I looked into, like, how is this done? Same thing with that fire retardant aluminum foil. You could, if you do some YouTube and research, you could possibly protect from that thing using some type of aluminum foil structure. You know what I mean? So go, look into that. Look into YouTube on how you can do that in a more affordable way, because it looks like aluminum foil is the key. Okay, so that's important to know. And just get the biggest thing of aluminum foil you could buy, because you just don't know how important that is in a grid down situation. You got to cook. You got to cook on something that you probably never cooked on top of before. You got to makeshift something to cook on. That aluminum foil comes in play as a go-to thing that you got to have in order to even do and prepare what you gather. You get what I'm saying? Matches, a box of matches. They at the dollar store, and get a couple of them, right? This one was a God-inspired one. A shovel. A shovel. Right now, the people in over there, are living the apocalypse. They are living it. And one of the things that the news has mentioned is bodies laying out in the open. So that's when God said, a shovel, so that you can bury properly dispose of your dead. And also, not just on the dead level, but that was the one that was heart dropping to say, that's something we don't think about. That's something we don't think about. And think about if you had to, like, someone in your household passes away during this event, and now you have to take them outside of the house. What are you gonna do? Leave them out? That's some scary, eerie stuff, to leave a dead body outside the house. You get what I'm saying? So getting you a shovel that is a good shovel that you keep inside the house with you, to where you know it's, because that's another thing about the shovel is that, let's say this does go on for months, you're going to want a way to bury your trash too, you know, because like I said, as things get worse around you mentally, it would mess you up, to be just, you know, have tons and tons of trash, 3 months of trash in your yard. You get what I'm saying? But if you have a shovel, you can bury the trash. Kitty litter. Kitty litter. It just speaks for itself. There's so many different things you could use kitty litter for as it relates to keeping a sanitary. Well, I guess that is the right word. But as it keeping your environment from not driving you mentally crazy. You know what I mean? So kitty litter. A elderly toilet. When I first praise God, thank you. I'm so glad, fam, that you are enjoying this, because you know, this was just that moment where God said, we're not, the mainstream preppers are wealthy, so they're not living some of this right now. They're not thinking about some of this right now. So, and myself included, you know, I've lived on grid, and now God had to put me through a test run to show me what was real, you know. So elderly toilets. That's Linda B. That first thing you just said, that's why elderly toilets. You know, when I first prepped before I had the farm, I got like you said, buckets. I got ways to, you know, poop outside, you know, because my dad was elderly and I needed him to be able to have a place to sit if he had to poop outside. But what God showed me was Isaiah 26 and 20 says, hide thyself, go into thy chambers, right? And elderly toilets is something that, like, we don't think about. It has all that included. The bucket, it's knee level where if your knee's bad, it's a place where you could send the kids. You get what I'm saying? So if y'all all in one room, you know, you could have the kids go to that room. Or you get what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. You got your water for flushing the toilet, but let's say for some reason it don't work that way. A elderly toilet, because you can't pick your toilet up and move it. You get what I'm saying? If a part of your home has to be blocked off, you can't pick it up and move it. So elderly toilets was something God brought to my, I don't know way other way to say it than elderly toilet, because I want you to understand this is the one that's in the hospital, the one that's sitting over in the corner. Go empty grandma's toilet, you know, bucket. That kind of one needs, that's the one, right? They're at the thrift store for nearly nothing because people not thinking about them. You know what I mean? Commode, thank you. Commode, thank you. Whew. He told me to tell you to get the good charcoal. The good char. Now, mind you, I love getting the cheap stuff. I'm a cheap stuff getter. Like I am. I feel like it's all the same. You look at the ingredients, it's all the same. But God said, nope, this time around, when it comes to purchasing your charcoal, get the biggest bag of good charcoal or a whole bunch of little bags of good charcoal. Because another thing he showed me with little bags was easier. Like you can have some over there, some over there, some over there. But if you can't afford to buy a whole bunch of little ones and you need to do it in bulk, he said get the good charcoal that has already been soaked. Let me tell you how he showed me that. Y'all remember, it's a long story short, Job's gone, but that's a good thing, y'all. If there was gonna be some type of love, I gotta go after God first. And a man, like if I was helping you, that's one thing, but we talking about something else. And right now, I gotta do what God said, and that's just what it is. So anyway, so when so that meant the wood burning stove gone, y'all. I'm gonna get another one if God be willing. God gonna bless me some kind of way. So, anyways, when the wood burning stove was here, it wasn't worth much unless I knew how to really start a fire. That's something us as women, city women, really don't even think about. Starting a fire, even with all the supplies to start a fire, is an art. Even with all I mean, you got the lighter, you got the wood, you got the charcoal. I mean, the not charcoal. You got the lighter fluid. You got everything you need, and starting this fire still becomes oh my God, right? Yes, I know the stove, and that was wrong. I know. Don't even get me started. I'm not going bad. We're gonna live it alone. We're gonna live it alone. Live it alone, girl. It's all right. God got me. Everything's good. Okay. So that's funny. No, not the stove. I felt the same way. But it's okay. I'm so sorry. That's so funny. But one of the things I learned from that exercise, right, was good charcoal will start the fire, even if you can't start the fire. You get what I'm saying? Because though, like, you do all the stuff you would have tried to do for the fire, but make sure you do it on top of some charcoal that is good charcoal. And it will help you keep the fire going. You get what I'm saying? To where you ain't got to use up all of your lighter fluid trying to start the fire. You get what I'm saying? It will aid you. Those embers from the good charcoal will aid you in starting the fire, right? Also, charcoal will keep you warm, right? That's another one that you could burn. Like if you had to burn it in a can or something like that, you could actually burn that. I don't know about the carbon monoxide on it, because it don't have smoke unless you're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So don't take my advice all the way on that one. But that's just like one of those in a bad situation. I felt God saying as close as you could get to hot rocks would be it would be good for like a woman that is can't chop down wood, can't, or is elderly, and something stops you from having the ideal situation. I God was showing me charcoal is just as important as wood, right? Good charcoal is just as important as wood. Okay. Lighter fluid, a chainsaw or a circular saw, right? So here we go. Remember what God said, hide thyself, go into thy chamber until his indignation has passed, right? But we also know God gonna do what he do. Like he can give us advice, but in the moment he's gonna show us what we have to do. Like ahead of time he's gonna give us advice and standards to live by, but in the moment he's gonna show us what we have to do. You get what I'm saying? And one of the things he showed me about a chainsaw, one was for wood purposes, but two, fire and brimstone. What if you are in a burning home and you need to get out, right? So this circular saw or chainsaw should be kept inside the house. I know you're like, what? But that is what God said. Like if you're in a situation, because this is fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone means hurled sulfuric balls, right? That if you're in a structure that catches fire and for some reason you can't get the fire out, you need ways to get out. Okay, a ladder, one of those ladders, like a second story ladder, one of those kind of ladders. But a chainsaw, a way to cut through a wall, to cut through, like, so that you're not trapped in a location within a home or a structure that you might be in, right? So that's important to know, so that was really for the ladies, we think of, don't get me wrong, guns are important, but I don't think they're as important as a chainsaw. I really don't. A chainsaw or a circular saw to me is more, because God got you. When it comes to that, man, I'm positive, 1,000% positive. God got you. As long as you're on the righteous side of living, God got you. But as it relates to the tests that come with premonitions, those, like, if I just would have had this, if I just would have, if they would, like, you watch the same movie over and over again and you keep seeing, if they would have had a chainsaw, if they would have had a fire extinguisher, like, we gotta first stabilize before we could get to the long-term living off of our preps type stuff. And a chainsaw is one of those things, especially being a woman. A man might get an axe, but a woman needs a chainsaw. Let's be real. A gas powered chainsaw that is sitting in your house somewhere, under your bed. I don't know, wherever you're gonna, like, if you all have to go to a certain place, right? A chainsaw. Okay. All right. I want y'all to know. I know that's off thought. I mean, it's on thought with the title of this video. These are God inspired things, and that's something God has been all like, chainsaw, circular saw, chainsaw, circular saw. Which, think about it, if trees are falling, now I see too, I hear you, Father. Think about it, if trees falling, what if it fall on your house? What if it fall on you? What if it fall on someone or something? A chainsaw is super important. Crank, I don't know if this is what they're called. I'm just calling it this, but I'm gonna try to explain it. Crank strap. Like, let's say you needed to strap something on, but you're not strong enough as a woman, but so you have that crank strap. Having one of those just handy. You don't know if you're gonna need it or not, but if you gotta up and leave, you gonna need it. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's one thing to have a bug out bag, but it takes it to the next level to have that crank strap, so that you could be ready to put stuff on your car if you have to go like that, or can go like that. Jumper cables. Tubs. When I moved to this farm, I don't, how you normally go get a whole bunch of boxes from the grocery store when you move in. Well, this time around, I felt God telling me to get a whole bunch of tubs, and which was expensive, but he still said collect tubs. Every time you go to the Goodwill, every time you go anywhere, where you see a cheap tub, buy it, buy it. The reason why he's putting it out there now is that is a great water storage for that water that that discardable water. Because now I have, though I've unpacked and I'm still unpacking, but I've unpacked a lot to where I have all these tubs floating around this house. You get what I'm saying? Or around this property. So that was I'm glad I listened, because now, am I going to go, I don't have any money. So am I going to go buy a pool? No. I'm going to clean out these tubs, cover them up, and store water in them, for, disposable water that I would just need for go wash my hands real quick in it water. You get what I'm saying? A metal trash can. A metal trash can. That you could put holes in and put it on top of cinder blocks and turn it into an incinerator. Right? That's something that he said that, would be, like, I don't know, learn more about the carbon monoxide situation of burning indoors. I don't know enough about it, and I do need to learn about it. But one of the things God was telling me and showing me, cinder blocks, metal trash can, and some way to vent the smoke would be as close to a wood burning stove as some really poor people will be able to get. So it's going to take innovation. Did y'all know the first, look this up, and it just gave me so much empowerment. But the first ever heating system for the house, like that had ducts and, transported heat from the wood burn, that was invented by a Black woman. I did not know that. That was interesting, right? Her design is the design for uh what heats your home, everybody's home. That's pretty cool. So that lets me know that we can invent as well, but now we got to think about it in a scrappy kind of way before this hits the fan. You know what I mean? They're doing exercises. How about we do a few exercises and do some YouTube learning and fire, like, even if you like, the people at the fire department would love for you to come by and ask them how to properly burn. They would love to tell you all. They would just sit. You might even find a husband out of it, girls. They would just tell you all of it. They would love to just, you know what I'm saying? Because they're sitting around waiting on a fire. They got all this information. They've been to fire school. Ask them, how could a person burn, you get what I'm saying, in a grid down, like, what are their thoughts on grid down situations? You know what I mean? Where you gotta, like, how could they help you stay safer in a situation where the grid has went down, but in a winter time? You get what I'm saying? So that's something to think about, like, as a cheat sheet. Go ask for help on it, but educate yourself on it and do the best you can to create something, okay? Linda B said, that would work. Wait. Coal is good for fireplace. Our parents used it when we were kids. That would work in a flood situation if you need to evac through the roof. Oh yeah, the chainsaw, the circular saw. Yes. Okay. Animal traps or dogs, both. Right? You're gonna need animal traps. Now, don't get me wrong. When it hits the fan, you're gonna have your prepping food, right? But think about, if you don't have, let's say you just waking up to all of this, okay? The person that has the traps has the long-term survival. Because when your food runs out, what you're gonna have to go do? Buy a trap. You get what I'm saying? So I would say get the trap and the food. You know what I mean? Think about that, because the trap is gonna be the thing that, one, like, it's gonna help. It's gonna help. And like I told you, I tried squirrel since I've been living in Kentucky, and squirrel's good. I'm not really interested in rabbit. Everybody keeps telling me about eating rabbit. I don't want to. I don't think I'm gonna try that one. But I just want to say squirrel though was pretty good, right? So I feel like they might have been keeping squirrel from us. Like, so traps though, because you might not be a crack shot, and you might not know how to do the naked and afraid, stick in a hole, step in a, no, go buy you a nice trap. You know what I mean? The ones the animal control use when they getting that raccoon up out of there. Go buy one of those. Just one. All you need is one. Okay? Trash bags. And that just speaks for itself on the mental level of it all. Trash bags. But painting tarp. Thick painting tarp. Okay? Yeah, we can have all the wood, warmth, all that other stuff, but in a drafty house, you're just wasting it, right? So get ready for the winter, which ain't gonna be that bad. It's gonna be a windy, cold winter, but don't look for that much snow, because Frost has abandoned his post, like the Book of Enoch said. So, but what you do need is, cover up your windows, do as much insulation prep work that you could do now will help you for when an ice age comes, okay? Boots, a good pair of boots. Like, we've all been loving Skechers. Like, oh yeah, I love Skechers, okay? Yep. but they're going to need to make a solid, strong boot. I'm going to go look and see if they got some good, strong leather boots made by Skechers. Um, because that's what we're going to need though. Cause that wet, like, you know, those are like socks that have memory foam as the bottom, right? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You need some army grade good boots. Cause this is, remember what we're preparing for is what God said is coming. And that is crust destabilization. Last thing, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you could walk a long way in some Skechers shoes, but the moment you put them Skechers shoes in mud, you're walking the rest of the way in mud. You get what I'm saying? So some boots are extremely important. Insoles, extremely important. Insoles, right? These are the things that's going on that day. It's gonna be a game changer. Okay, so that's the end of that list, but I just want to give you, like, I'm about to keep working on finishing this other video. But God told me and showed me, like, y'all know that movie Don't Look Up, when there was the rich guy that said they could get like this element. Well, I'm gonna let you know. Remember here, like, God is the word, right? God is the words. Like, he never lies to us. He always tells us once you define a word, right? Diamond. That is literally day. That's what diamond, that on that day, mound. And what I'm going to show you in the next video is that's what is going to be created in mass amounts, probably even falling from the sky. But that's what's going to be created for why they want the population cooled. Before that happens, that's the way they're going to keep the wealth. You know what I mean? Y'all. And another thing in that next video, remember, I thought I was so smart. But God showed me. Y'all know how that report, I went and like that report that said all these different places was going, you know, the population was going to go down in all these different places. And remember, I told y'all, I looked at the opposite in that report, who was going to survive. Do y'all know every place, now mind you, I didn't know this while it was happening, okay? Every place that by the Spirit of God, God told me would be destroyed was all the places that they said would survive, right? Wow. Right? So but they are funnel, like they're putting money into those locations. And then God said, diamonds, day of mounds, diamonds, diamonds, right? Like, oh, okay, okay. So I don't know, you know, I don't think those places, like, so let's go back. I don't think those places are going to survive. But I do think those places they want invested interest in so that they could be there to collect the diamonds. Diamonds. Right? So go back and look at that video where God was showing that and how certain places going to break off because of the downward motion of and somebody on here said, called them pillars of the earth. Yup. Because I'm gonna start calling it, because I ain't know what to call them, the spouts that hold up the continents, but, or that, you know, that everything derives from. But that is exactly what it is, the pillars of the earth. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta catch my breath sometimes. And I lost my train of thought. Diamonds. That's all I'm hearing right now. But that's why they're doing this, is to make sure everybody don't get diamonds. You get what I'm saying? And that they are the sole owner of diamonds, right? And it makes sense for, remember how much information, you know, how much emphasis they put on demons when a certain person was coronated. You know what I'm talking about. They put a lot of emphasis on those. Well, those come from that day, y'all. The day that this happens, when God comes to the earth. He is flanked by diamonds. There we go. Flanked. So yeah, that is still true. Look at that. Yeah, like it's literally these like he comes in, but he's flanked by this that comes with him. You get what I'm saying? So which diamonds are the demons, like, you know what I mean? So a mammon comes with him. Hell follow it. This is all Bible too. That's crazy. God is just giving me Bible verse after Bible verse that shows that hell is following. You get what I'm saying? Like, so whoa, wow. I hear you, Father. He said go read what is that? I think is, I don't know the Bible verse. It starts with a Z. It starts with a Z. It's the one where, or is it a H? Go read Habakkuk and the next one that comes after it. That's what I hear God say. Habakkuk and the next one that comes after it, which is starts with a Z. Because they're talking about write the vision, make it plain, and though it tarry, wait on it, for it shall surely come to pass. Y'all pastor thought, use that for prosperity. No, 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 no. That was the apocalypse that verse was about. Yeah, so though it tarry, wait on it, for it shall surely come. And the things that I feel God saying that we need to start focusing on are day of the Lord things. Like we're thinking long-term prepping, and I feel him saying we need to be thinking day by day prepping. Like, how do you endure for that day? What would you need for daily endurance on a real level, though? Like, not like some things without faith in God, you really do need. You get what I'm saying? But other things with faith in God, it makes certain things less important. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is tissue ain't all that important. It's important, but it ain't all that important. Remember how everybody bought up all the tissue? That just showed that everybody wasn't mentally mature for what's gonna happen. Tissue ain't what you need. What you need is soap and water and a rag, a boo-boo rag. Let's be real, that you can clean and that you can put back again. You get what I'm saying? So I feel God saying, with faith in him, you realize what would make his job easier. You get what I'm saying? Like, because he's already coming to our rescue, but wait on it and have these other things until he get there. You know what I mean? Like, God fed, there we go, I hear you, Father. God fed the Israelites with fish dropping from the sky. Y'all remember not too long ago that happened in Texas? So we know it's possible, right? So God fed them with fish dropping from the sky. If you ain't got no aluminum foil and no fire and no charcoal to cook that fish on, how ready are you? You get what I'm saying? Now you see what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong. Canned goods are important. Food is important, especially if you got kids, because them kids gonna nag you to death about, because we haven't been teaching our children a fasting culture. You get what I'm saying? So they're gonna nag you to death if you don't got food things. But I want you to know the sugar, like Kool-Aid with no sugar, like the detailed thing, for when God provides are the things, and for when God acts, a fire extinguisher. Real talk. Have you ever been a parent where everybody was about to get their butt whooped? Everybody gonna get a butt whooping in there. But there was this one, like the little one. That one don't really deserve a butt whooping. But you going in there, you whooping them all, but not the little one. You get what I'm saying? But on mistake, like in your ooh, or I won't say mistake, just you gave him a good little pat maybe. You want to make sure that child has the tools to appease you in your anger. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the, like, you get what I'm saying? So if fire and brimstone is coming, don't get me wrong, God gonna make sure none of it comes near you, but you might have to bandage your sister's wounds. You might have to wash the child that showed up at your door with no parents now, because the wave came through and now they don't know where their parents are. You get what I'm saying? Be ready. Think about the things that would be ready to handle the blessings of God. You get, that's what I'm trying to say. And the provisions of God and the protections of God and the wrath of God, right? Because everybody about to get their butt whooped. So if you got a fire extinguisher, you know, that would help, right? All right. Wait, what was you saying, my love? Salt the fish. Give us a little bit more, true lady. You said, or salt the fish. I've heard people say salt the wound. So I'm glad you said that too, though. Baking soda. Y'all, we have been looking for cough syrup and that type of stuff. Forget that. You need baking soda. Like, yell out, I got baking soda. It really does act as a super vitamin for blocking against infection. It really does. Do your research on it. I stand by it. I've tested it. I've seen it. I've researched it. I'm telling you, people who have had whole liver transplants, heart transplants, before they can go home, they put them on sodium bicarbonate pills. When they go home, they have to take these sodium bicarbonate pills. That tells me that the government knows, yeah, baking soda, that the hospitals know, in order to keep you from getting sick, sodium bicarbonate is number one. So get baking soda, real talk. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you said when you can't cook it, you can salt it to preserve it. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's something to even learn, to know about. But know this too, God is going to provide your daily needs. But it would be cool to have instruments to receive those daily needs. You know what I mean? So, like she said, salt, instruments, aluminum foil, right? The things that you need. So I want to say I love you guys. God bless you. I'm going to keep working hard. Oh, tomorrow's one of my days of concern. Remember I put on there, I got some dates of concern, and I never said the dates. Like I went through so much with the internet that I never said the dates. Tomorrow is exactly 6 weeks, or 42 days, one of the two. I got to look it up, but it was like either 42 days or 6 weeks since that war started. And if it's following some type of Bible regiment, the Bible says they would trample on the holy city for 40, I think it was 42. I don't know. It was something, but God told me it was 42 days. Like, so go look it up. I think it's in Daniel. or 64 is what was in Daniel, but no, God told me it was, like he said, flip it for in some of it. So anyways, long story short, plus tomorrow is 1119, 911 much. So that was something else about it. The 25th, Thanksgiving, the 23rd and the 25th, he was saying watch for. One of those days, I believe it's the 23rd, by conception is February 29th. One of those days. Go look at the conception calendar and see which one of those days would be their feast day, right? If they created a day and God said you don't break day and night, they put February 29th in, right? Leap year day, whatever, you know what I mean? By conception, one of those dates I told you is that day. I just don't remember which one. I think it might be the 23rd, right? Or the 25th, I'm not sure. But all those are coming. All of those are coming. So stay watching. Do what you can to get the minimum survival items, and be Christ righteous through this next phase. Like WWJD, real talk. WWJD, through this next phase, everything that I've read, everything that I've seen says that this is a fight between might and right. And being on God's side is, yes, it is. That's my daughter's birthday too. Being on God's side during this thing would be saying, do what's right by your fellow man. Treat that. That's why I have this shirt on. You see, I don't match my pants, but that's why I have this shirt on. Treat everything from this point on as if it's this season. Because God said that's the reason for the season, right? The reason why it's all, you know, cheerful, it's because people went through something back then. And that's the remnant of what they went through, was recognizing that this type of mind frame is gonna be needed in order to get through it. All right. Anything else, Father? Pray for me. You know, I really am I'm following God. I really am going to keep doing what God says. Send up love and prayer, you know, let God know I'm, you know, that's one of the things I do. When I pray for people, I literally be like, God, this person, good looking out, that happened. They did this, they did follow. So, or they did do this, you know, so just tell some of God what this has been worth to him. You know what I mean? That would be a blessed prayer. Because sometimes I don't know if I'm doing it right. You know what I mean? So like, and any good marketer wants to take a survey. Are we doing like let them know that this helped, you know? Because then he'll bring it back to me and then I'll know it's worth it, you know? So just pray that I could keep doing it, you know? Pray that, and I'm going to be doing the same for you. I'm going to be sending up prayers. These people are here, they're listening, they're trying. Please find mercy on them, Father. Ask that he find mercy on me, you know? None of us have done it right. Even our best is like filthy rags. That's why I had to go, because it was like, nobody could be the head except my God. You know what I mean? That's the way we're moving right now. And if and this is the same advice I gave y'all. If the person that is over your head, God ain't over their head, this ain't something you want. This ain't a battle you want to go in with them. this ain't a battle, or you better hurry up and get some fire extinguishers because the fire might fall on the house. You get what I'm saying? You can't let that happen. Um, so pray that I could continue doing this. Pray that blessings fall out of nowhere, that God continues sending the resources. Because right now I'm on his good humor, you know, which he's been good, y'all. No, he been good. Like the moment, like, you know, what one person thought would be for your bad, God did some miracles in the middle of it where I'm literally going, I'm okay. Everything's okay. Oh, I love you, Father. Oh, thank you. Ay. Like, don't get me wrong. I had to go through some things, but now I have to admit, and if you could be honest, some people come in your life to teach you certain lessons. And I just want to thank Job for teaching me not to be a weak-willed woman. Like, no, that was a test that had to be squashed for what's coming. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you cool with me, you'll be cool with me later. But there's gonna be coming a lot of people coming hard at you once this happens, and you're gonna have to be able to stand on the promises of God. You're gonna have to be able to stand, walk it like you talk it. You're gonna have to be able to do that. So don't wait until that day. Wait, do it now. You know, let this be your practice run so that on that day, you know you've already made the hard decisions in life. You can make them again. You get what I'm saying? You've already done the out of the box thinking thing. You could do it again. Praise God. That's 114 right when I was saying that. Just want to say I used to love watching you and Faithful chatting. She is well. I miss Faithful, but oh, I miss my Miss Faithful. But I talk on the phone with her all the time, but I wish she was here with me. But you know, the rat race is the race, you know. I had to sacrifice a lot to make this move. You know, I never noticed how big the sacrifice was, right? You know, and it's hard when your kids won't believe you, like, you know what I mean, to come, or my kids didn't believe me to come, you know, but I had a choice to make. It was either go prepare a place for all of us or not, or none of us have no place. You know what I mean? So it's been the hardest decision ever because I want to go home more than anything in the world. But right now I'm in a booth and I can't go home because I have to prepare this place for you when you come. You know, that's another thing. God also told me to start. Hold on, wait. Let me pray about that. Make sure I'm saying that right. I hear you, Father. Okay. Because I was about to say the wrong thing because he told me to stop inviting people here. The name was Wisdom, Good Luck Alone that made me come here. Like I'm sitting right smack dab in the middle of places called Wisdom, Good Luck Alone, right? And now I see why, even more than ever, I see why. Because he said, God's been telling me like on the movie The Stand, he was going to bring people here, like he was going to lead them here. So he told me it's not for me to care one way or the other how they get here, but to have prepared it. Like the Bible says, I go to prepare a place. If it was not true, why would I say I was going? Like, so I was about to say, you know, to start doing that. But God, like, you know, I was going to say, give you my email and say, which my email is faithfulwisdomwarriors@gmail.com. But I was going to say to start, you know, preparing for those needs. But God said, I can't do that. You know, I can't do that. He said that's wisdom. Like in Proverbs 9, there's wisdom. And then there's the woman of folly. And he said the woman of folly stands at the highest point telling people to come. And you can't, he told me don't do that. No, he said prepare for when they do come, and then be ready by that strong will to say throw away your simple ways or you can't come round here. You get what I'm saying? But this is what he's been telling me, and it's so hard. I don't know why it's so hard for me to do. but to tell people that this is good ground. If you want to find a way to support this channel, support the Goshen, I don't know how, like, because when I had my info, it, not my Cash App, that wasn't hacked, but my Apple account was hacked. So now I'm not able to be connected with none of that stuff no more, because I can't. Somebody know how to get in contact with Apple so that they could, because like the person's address that hacked my account in Colorado is still on there. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not putting none of my information online. So I don't know how you could help here. I don't know how you can help, but God has been saying that this is good ground, and anybody that does help here, that he gonna take care of you for helping here. But I don't know how to tell you to help here. I'm working on it. I'm working on all this. Y'all could tell, that's how you know this ain't scripted. This is really by the notions of God. Like, this is literally by the promptings of God, right? For instance, here's another one. Remember I told y'all about the gamma ray? Now everybody catching up talking about the gamma ray. This channel known about the gamma ray since 10/4 last year. Remember 10/4? Gamma ray happened on 10/9 last year. And now they're talking about it. But I told y'all back then with Gammiel, all that, right? So that let y'all know that God is here, right? Just like the Bible says, I think it's in Peter or Philippi, I don't know where it is, but I think it's in Peter though, where he says when people, I don't know what Bible verse it is, I'm sorry, but he says when people speak in tongues, he said they won't know that's from God, but when you prophesy, people will come in and go, oh no, God is there, God is there. And I'm telling you, we done gave some doozies of a huge prophecies well in advance of everyone else. Huge prophecies that I've had many people say, wow, we prepared them. How did you know this was coming? How did you know? Or now, oh, I heard you talking about it. Now all of a sudden so-and-so just did a video on it. Y'all about to hear somebody say get gas masks, right? You gonna hear it. So I don't know how to get to help you help sow into this ground. If anybody got any ideas, throw it out there. Praise God, Linda. If anybody got any ideas on how to sow into this ground, I would love to hear it. Uh, but one of the things I do need is I need a volunteer. Here, I'll tell y'all some of the things I need. Volunteers. I do. I need people that will, for a short period of time, not forever, right? Not forever, unless during the process God reveals that, but that will come work the land, get it ready for the survivors, do that selfless, because that's what it is. This is a selfless land for survivors. You give it up. And no, my PayPal was hacked too. Like, so somehow or another, PayPal and Apple are in on it together somehow or another. So I'm too terrified to make a move. I'm not. I don't know how. To maybe a proxy. I don't know. Maybe you want to be in charge of helping me get a proxy going. I don't know. But I have to admit, the way God moves in my mind sometimes, it's hard to do that detail administrator type of things. You get what I'm saying? He moves in my mind to like so I would say that help somebody that was willing to help on for God, like as he's throwing, they help me catch some of this and give it some organization on how to do it. You know what I mean? That would be helpful. Um so lawnmower, that would be helpful, man. A lawnmower, ways, if somebody owns a excavating company, ways to clear land, which the land doesn't really, I could do that as long as I got my chainsaw. It's not that it really needs to be cleared. That pond needs to be excavated if we're going to have a fresh water source eventually. But ways to make it where people can live on this land and have the thing, like, be a safe haven. I don't know. I'm one person, but I'm trying. Almost got in an entanglement trying, but I don't never have it. God said, you ain't never got to try like that. You know what I mean? Like, no, that ain't a fair exchange. That's a robbery. You get what I'm saying? Like, it don't work. So, So yeah, any way to help in that manner would be great. You know, what else? A lawnmower, a wood burning stove, um, little, it's just things that I need, not really money. So I don't know how to uh tell you that. You know what I mean? Maybe you could buy it and ship it here from Amazon. I don't know. But it's things. It's a lawnmower, a wood burning stove, uh, any of the things we've talked about here, would be helpful. If this is the place to do long-term survival, well, I don't know. It is, don't get me wrong, but I feel God saying he gonna supply that too. God, one of the things God's been telling me is stop worrying about food. I'll supply it. Like food ain't what you need. You need things that a jerk would hoard from you in order to use your food. You get what I'm saying? Like if there was a capitalist afoot, they're going to make sure that they have, all the water or all the matches or all the, you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'll think about that more. But yeah, I need things is more valuable to me than money. So if you got an extra lawnmower or an extra, that's the only thing I could think about right now. Those types of things will help. Walmart gift card, Amazon gift card will help. I would like those things over money anyways, because I'm not going to put my information back on, especially not this new AI world. I don't want to be connected with none of it. But if you could mail a gift card, maybe I'll go get a P.O. box at the Edmonton post office or something. But gift cards would be blessings to like tractor stores and tractor supplies. Because like I said, I am one person trying to build a free place for God's people. And y'all, it's right here. Screenshot what I'm saying. It's going to be a free place, but it's going to be the kind of place that the way God told me to run it, when the displacement happens and people need a place to go, this will be the place where the meek go. Like, no, not the like I God's given me discernment to discern a person's heart. You know what I mean? So if a person's heart is off, and they don't know it, a lot of times people don't even know when their heart is off. They don't even see it. They can't, you know what I mean? But if their heart is off, they can't be here. They have to be for the righteousness, Christ-like righteousness for God and God's people, right? And then it's not like the empath if not, how do I put this? An empath attracts a narcissist. It's the truth, right? But under the guidelines of wisdom, Proverbs 9, right? The narcissist would have to flee the empath. So this place will be for that person, the empath that has to flee a narcissist, or the place where those that don't want to fight, can't fight, don't want to fight, don't feel like they have to fight, refuses to fight. That's this place. Real talk. I believe y'all. I done seen it. I done seen how when you go after God's righteousness, I feel bad for the other people. Like he comes in like bam, 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 bam. Real talk. I've seen it with my own eyes to the point where I have complete and utter faith that God will protect the security of this place as long as we don't allow its complete corruption. So that's what I'm going to be when that day comes, is a corruption guard for looking at the heart of man. That's the truth, So, yeah, so that way you'll know what ground you're giving into. This is the place for the orphan and the widow. That's what this place is for. So you'll know what type of ground you're giving into. And as you see, I don't allow like I learned the lesson. There we go. I learned the lesson, like on deeds, meaning I like, how do I put this? The adversary offers blessings too. Y'all see, when all that came about, I was fasting. And God was saying, stay fasting because something's coming. But now I see that was the adversary offers blessings too. And sometimes you gotta be willing to stand on the righteousness of God, even if it means foregoing certain types of blessings. That's the truth. I didn't understand it before, but now I do. Like I said, that whole situation taught me what it means to be a weak-willed woman. You know, it's literally, do you, let's say they come with a blessing that looks like same birthday, same this, same that. Oh my God, it just looks like this is God. But if it's not willing to throw away simple ways, if it, you know, does not have the essence of God, you give it, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that after church essence, that essence of God, then no, you got to get it away from you, right? So I'm saying that to say, y'all see, I walk it like I talk it. It's people be thinking I'm joking. So, and then I'll be like, okay. And then when it hit the fan, I'm like, nah, I really do walk it like I talk it. So it's true. You know what I mean? So you do know this is good ground because you see me do it. You've seen me do it more than once because I genuinely, fear of the Lord. I'm afraid of the Lord. I know God, not the devil. Like, I ain't afraid of the devil. Devil kick rocks. Like, real talk. All he doing is teaching me things. You get what I'm saying? Like, he teaches me how to get back to God. That's why every time he afflicts me, it's like, oh, that's another lesson on how to get closer to God. Thanks. Gotta go closer to God. You get what I'm saying? But I fear God. I fear, tremble when it comes to God. So that's the type of ground you watch for when you start sowing. Do they fear God? Okay. All right, that is all I gotta say. I love you guys. Have you tried going? I know I'm not doing the app. I'm not putting my information back on there. I would rather find a way to give out an address where things could be sent to in my name that would be sent to me more so than even like I could be monetized by, like, I got a lot of viewers, a lot of watch hours, all that. I could be totally monetized right now. I won't figure out how to get the money. I don't want to. I don't want to figure it out. Yeah, it feels like it comes with something. I don't want to figure it out. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, and that's what, like, I know I'm different. I'm different. Money does not move me at all. Like, at all. Like, no, you get it? It just, I'm different. I believe in tangible things, you know? So I refuse. I refuse. I don't want the monetization. I don't want the, but I do know this. I will tell you this. I feel God saying, I felt it for him saying it for a long time. Like, this is good ground. You got to give them the opportunity to sow into that ground. It's like, I feel him. I know this sounds cliche, but no, I just feel him saying, those that sow into this ground gonna reap big rewards. I just don't know how to help you do it. I don't know how to help you do it. So it would have to come from a boiling inside your heart to do it. Like, I don't know how to help you do it, but I do know that that's what he's been saying from a long time. Like, y'all seen him. Y'all seen him. Remember, y'all remember the day that I bought this house. I mean, this land, right? I had nothing in the world. I had no money whatsoever. And God made me do a video about tithing and about how it sanctifies you for the, like, when he comes, you have to be in a complete, humble, sanctified, submissive state, or you'll just die flat out. That's why they had to, people had to go backwards into the Ark of the Covenant. You get what I'm saying? You have to be completely sanctified. So I did this video that I didn't want, like, I hate talking about money because I hate it. And I did this video, and while I was doing the video, Faithful wasn't watching the video. Y'all, she wasn't watching the video. She was worshiping and studying her Bible. She was studying her Bible somewhere else. Somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? She wasn't even in the house with me, kind of thing. And right after I got done doing the video, she called me and said, God said, you're an orphan and a widow, and that I need to sow this type of seed into you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I accepted the seed, right? But then my daughter ran away. That's what happened. It was her birthday, right? So she ran away. And I felt like, why am I here? And I drove here to see this beautiful place. When I got here, they told me, you know, that I could just put something on it and it could be mine. They make it a contingent buy. And I just so happened to have, look, I said to them, all I got is $250. They took it. And now I'm here. You get what I'm saying? So her listening to the prompting of God that day is what brought me here. You get what I'm saying? So I know it's true. I've seen it. I know it's true. I just don't know how to, like, I don't know how to. I don't know how to. So yeah. So it is what it, and it helps me focus on laying, like, I'm gonna tell y'all this is where, because like I told y'all, God been saying this to me like I'm wrong. You give it up, not like I'm wrong, but like you have to give like you got to say it at least. You give it, I'm saying, that's what he's been saying, like you got to say for them to sow into the ground, right? So I know so I got to be honest and say the thing that makes me scared of that is I know deals are coming with the devil. I know I don't want, I like to live off of the serendipity of God. Like he says, go here. Now I'm here. Go there. Now I'm there. I like that, you know, because then like the day that I said, okay, look, I got to do this right by God, and said that they had to go and I would hang out with Rozzy on the weekends. But, you know, we're going to wait until the, you know, we start at the beginning of the month. But anyways, from the moment I said that, right? High school best friend, right, was on vacation with her kids. Now, mind you, she just found out about a breakup, right? And then she says, I'm coming. And then, like, next thing you know, all this stuff happened. But that was the serendipity of God, you know? So I like seeing that, you know, I like, that's when I know, you know what I mean? I know nothing comes with it when God just makes stuff spring up and rescue you and you get what I'm saying? So maybe this whole thing with the Apple and PayPal had to happen that way so that it would be true gifts from the heart, I'm guessing. You know what I mean? True gifts from the heart, that you didn't send your money over the airways, that you sent an actual thing that was needed, you know? So I don't know. But I do know if it's not me, find good ground, you know, good ground, like that homeless person, or that person you know is living hand to mouth, or find really good ground, because this is that time to where we have to sanctify ourselves through our humility, our sacrificial humility to help the next person. That's how, when God cracks open that sky, we'll be sanctified for his arrival. Because if not, like, and I'm telling you, like, you lose, like, that's the reason why everybody loses it. Just so y'all know, remember that other thing when I said the first time I ever came in front of the presence of God, I felt like I felt like my body was being ripped from my mind, and they were two separate entities. That's how it felt. The first time I ever was in God's actual presence, it felt like a ripping of the foundation of self. That's why I say I ain't scared of the devil no more, because I know God could do that, make you turn on you. You get what I'm saying? But that sanctifiedness, that sanctifying of yourself, will lessen that. It really will lessen that. Oh, praise God. I just saw an email. So whoever just emailed me, I saw it come up. I don't know. I saw it come up. Faithful Wisdom Warriors at Gmail. I hope I'm in that one. I think I am. But I got to figure out, I don't know if maybe this person really does know me. I don't know, and have my government your name one. You know how you got your name one. So everybody, just get ready. Keep blessing the people around you. Keep telling the truth. Oh, biggest weapon during this time, biggest weapon is truth. It's like truth really will set you free. Not a and learn how to fight off saving face. Saving face is a demon that will make you lie to yourself out loud in the moment. Saving face demon can't come to the Goshen. Cannot. Because that means in that moment, it's going to do what it needs to do in order to protect itself, not the Goshen. You get what I'm saying? So that's a lying demon. So be like truth, tell the truth, shame the devil every chance you get, about yourself, about the people around you, about the situation, about the government, about any of it. Just tell the truth. Allow the truth to set you free, And that's part of me saying they gave us this culture of Christmas. They gave us this Bible. They made federal holidays related to my religion. So how dare they then be mad at me for exhibiting the culture they've given me? That's the truth. You get what I'm saying? That kind of truth, that hold up, that logical truth. If this, then that truth. The truth. You get what I'm saying? That is going to be your biggest weapon during this time. And watch Steve Urkel. He's a great type and shadow. He's a great type and shadow on how God wants us to treat each other during this time. And guess what? Demons run from Steve Urkel. It's true. He's annoying. He's too helpful. He gon' tell my plot. Like, I done told you one thing, told you another thing. Steve Urkel be like, didn't you just say? You give them, they want Steve Urkel away from you. You get what I'm saying? Be that though, because that means that people will flee you. That ain't that easy. Be Steve Urkel good to people, and people will run away from you. The bad people will have to get out of your way. They will. They can't deal with you. You're too much. It's too much, right? I gotta work on. I'm just being honest. I gotta work on. I've been said it here 1,000 times. When my truth gets like this sometimes. So work on that. I don't be like that kind of true, because I'm being that kind of true and it ain't right. Okay. Um, but find a way to be humbly truthful. Like, because if I could say the truth without I'd be on point. I'd be doing it right. But be honest about the truth, about the way you feel, about the way, just that is going to be your biggest weapon during the purge. During the purge. I know you like, huh? During the purge, my gun going to be my biggest weapon. No, because guess what? One of the things God showed me is they're going to be attracted to sin. Like, to sin. So if you are held up in the house, guns ready, fighting off people, it's going to attract more to that location. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they're going to be attracted to sin. So like if you drink, if you smoke, if you have sex out of wedlock, if you fornicate, whatever the case may be, it's going to attract demonic spirits to your location. That's why when the enemy comes against you, you have to raise up a moral standard. You get what I'm saying? So I just want you to know that, like, guns are not don't get me wrong. You can have one, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but they're not going to help you for what's coming. The righteousness of God, being right to God, right toward God, keeping God as like saying, if I do this to you, will it hurt God? That is what's going to keep you safe during this time. I'm positive of it. I've seen it in my dreams. I live it in my daily life. When you do what's right by God, yeah, you might hurt people's feelings. Yeah, other people might have to move out the way. But I'm telling you, God himself opens up the windows, pours out a blessing to let you know, oh, now you're on the right path. That was the wrong path. Now you're on the right one. Good job, girl. You get what I'm saying? So, know this, that it's doing right by God. Like, and I need you to hear this. So let's say your cousin is a drug addict, a bad drug addict, and her kids are about to go homeless. Okay. Like, she's smoked up all the drugs and the kids are about to be sleeping in their car with their mom. Okay. Now, right by humanity or right by cultural standards, depending, like if you're Italian or Chinese or something, I don't know. You might think bring the crackhead niece or cousin and her kids into the Goshen. Crap. I was about to say bull, but y'all know me. No, it is literally taking the children into the house with you. That is doing right by God, because God got to deal with her. You get what I'm saying? And he doesn't want her inside of that house if she don't love him. You get what I'm saying? That's how you got to think about things, is do they love God? Regardless, they can need charity all day long. But charity, starts at home, and then you can, whatever God lays on your heart, if he lays anything on your heart, it might be a out of the box type of being good to God is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, don't just think we always take care of family. Don't get me wrong. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? All of them my family, if that's the case. Everybody, you too. But if you are afflicted by demons, if you are used to being enabled, if you are, that's a narcissistic trap for the empath. You get what I'm saying? So the way you fight that empath is by doing what's right for God for that person. You get what I'm saying? Do what's right for God for that person. And it might be, yeah, God got some lessons to teach you. So it's cold out there. You need a blanket. I'm going to give you a blanket and some socks. And if over time, you could always come back here and we'll read the Bible together. Maybe over time, God showed, but you never do it quickly. That's another thing, because every adversary going to say, yep, I'll read the Bible. Nah. Make sure it's over a long period of time. Like, people only can do, hold on, I don't know if you could, you know how you do this? They only could do it so long before the truth comes out, which is to put their hand down. You get what I'm saying? So make sure, if you do help them, make sure it's helping them for God. You know what I'm saying? That's so important, because the Bible says many will cleave to the righteous to break them down. So stand on the righteousness by God, then you'll be able to figure it out. There's two different vibes. I hope y'all see it, because sometimes doing what's right by your culture is not what it means to do what's right by God. Right? So I'm going to just flat out say it. If you cross dress, you can't come to this Goshen. You can't. It's not right by God. because this is God's house. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, if you want to put down those ways, and because the truth is, all of us about to be dressed like men. Why are you taking the time to dress like a woman when even the women got to get boots and pants on? That means you're a worker of iniquity. So we're not playing those types of games. You get what I'm saying? I hope y'all get where I'm going with that, right? So it's literally like, stop playing games. If you a man, you can't go in the women's bathroom. Stop playing games. You get what I'm saying? So now this is the stop playing games kind of place. So that's important to know too. So know this. This is the ground that is not playing games. Like, we're not playing no, like, throw away all your simple ways. Like, and here we go. I may love you, but I don't want my butt whooped by God because of you. And don't be mad. And if you mad at me because I don't want my creator to whoop me over what you doing, what kind of friend was you? That's like saying, make your mom whoop you over what I'm doing. Heck no. My mama said I can't play with you right now. Real talk. And that is the case in this Goshen. That's the truth. I'm sorry, it's the truth, y'all. When this happens, because if not, that person will attract more. It literally, it really will, like it or not. It is true. Though spiritual entities of corruption are going to where they can corrupt, become the incorruptible righteousness of God. And that's how you endure. We're talking about enduring, right? God, that's his only, command for us right now is to endure. So, okay, I hope I gave y'all everything that y'all need. I love you. Yes, get a P.O. box. Yes, I'll I'll figure that out. And if anybody here, like, I see all them other people got a whole bunch of, because we not moving in money, are we, y'all? We promise not to move in money. Don't send no money my way. I don't want no money. Send me a gift card. Real talk. Please don't send money. Real talk. But if anybody wants to help in that, feel free to step up to help. I'll vet you and make sure that you good people. But they won't be collecting money. If anything, it'd be gift card, and they'll know the proper address to send the stuff to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I hate money. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. It gets in the way. You could tell that it's mammon. You could tell. You could tell. I'd rather the lawnmower. You know what I mean? I'd rather somebody pull up like, I got a lawn. I'd cry. I'd cry. I'd be outside mowing. I'd be driving that thing everywhere. I got a driving lawnmower, but the tire went out and it needs a battery. There we go. That's something else that I need. If anybody want to know, the tire blew on my riding lawnmower, and I got a trickle charge for the battery. Dawn brought that, and but it needs a new battery. That's what made me realize battery storage is what is going to be important. What's the point of having all these solar panels but no way to store what you're gathering? But yeah, so if anybody, email me, faithfulwisdomwarriors@gmail.com. Yeah, and if anybody, like any of my close people, want to come do a vacation to work and play on the land and try out their preps on the land, or want to come see how they do camping in the wintertime or something, feel free, just contact me that way, and I'll make a way for you to do that. And in return, like, you ain't got to pay nothing, but maybe you could help me work a little bit. That'd be a blessing. Or bring some resources for it. That'd be a blessing. Um, but yeah, I love you guys, and stay blessed. And it's faithfulwisdomwarriors@gmail.com. And if for some reason I can't get into that one, I think I know I got Faithful has the password. She gave it to me before, but I told y'all I'm scatterbrained. But yeah, if there's some way, I hear you, Father. I hear him saying, pray, y'all. Pray, hold your children close, get an atlas so that you can find your way out. Walk the freeways if you don't got atlas. Walk the freeways. Like if you can't get there in car, walk the freeways. If you got the money to buy land now, buy land now. And I feel I from my faith level, because I can't tell you for your faith level, but from my faith level, Kentucky is good ground. Kentucky is good ground. Okay. And was it Minnesota? No, Kansas. Kansas is good ground too, y'all. Kansas is good ground, and Kentucky. Wow, look at them K's. Kansas and Kentucky are good ground. So if you do got money just laying around and you know it ain't about to be worth much, go ahead, get that deed on some land in Kentucky or Kansas, because they're at the tops of spouts. Like they're on foundations is what God it has been showing me. They're on something that makes them okay for what's about to happen. They're on top. The topography, that's it, topography of them says they're going to be okay. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. But I feel I'm going to get back here with this other video. Y'all know me. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So that way y'all could see the science behind a real 2012 event that's going to create diamonds. Diamonds. Take that, however, take that DIAMON, yeah, or also demons, right? So I'm gonna show you guys that once I get this PowerPoint, like I couldn't just tell it to you. God was right. I have to show you pictures. I have to show you actual science stuff so that you'll see everything they're prepping us for. Saying it one way is really coming another way on a way bigger catastrophic scale, but it's gonna have diamonds in it. Diamonds will be in it, and that's why they did it, or that's why they didn't help us, right? All right. Love you guys. Hey Rose, I'm just about to end it, my love. I love you guys. Somebody tell Jamila. No, I know Jamila gonna watch this. I miss you, boo. I wish that I could I'm scared of what was that, Telegram now. You know, that's how we spoke before, but remember that's when my phone went off. But I just want you to know I love you, I miss you, and I'll be wanting to talk to you throughout the day. So I want you to know my heart is with you as well. I wish you were in the States where we could talk more readily. But a special message to you, darling, because you are in a flight path. The highest mountain. Get an atlas for the highest, like to help you get to the highest mountain in that area. That's going to be essential. But I understand it's hard to leave our kids, you know, especially when they don't, you know, they're caught in the rat race of day-to-day working, you know. I get it. But I just want you to know I love you, I miss you, and I think about you, and I wish I could talk on the phone with you because there's so much that God has shown me, and I would just love to research it with you. But I done learned my lesson about all this stuff to where I can't move forward like that. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye, guys.